Welcome to the Super Expander podcast. My name is Corrine Phelps, your host. I'm a business and growth coach, money mindset expert, and a multi-passionate entrepreneur. My journey has taken me all over, from working in finance to owning a boutique fitness studio. I found myself burnt out, miserable, and questioning everything. Saying things to myself like, there's got to be more to life than this. Refusing to settle for a mediocre existence, I went all in, learning how to harness untapped potential and rewire the subconscious mind to create an extraordinary life. The last 10 years have been a crash course in self-love, building a business, creating community, building wealth, and doing what it takes to just freaking go for it. My mission is to help you align to your purpose, rewire your subconscious to support your big dreams and vision, and create a life that you're absolutely obsessed with. So sit back, tune in, and prepare to expand. Hello, Super Expanders. Welcome back to the podcast. How are you doing? How is your heart? How are we feeling today? I myself am feeling extra grateful because I'm feeling better. I am coming off of a really crazy attack of vertigo. I have never had vertigo before, so this was a brand new experience for me. So if you've had vertigo, you know how awful and terrible it is. For me, it was the first time. And not only was it a first time, it was an extreme case. I was literally in bed pretty much for 2 weeks. I couldn't even walk actually for about 3 to 4 days. I had to hold on to a wall, or someone had to help me walk because I was going to fall down. It was that bad. So I'm going to give you like a little education on vertigo since we're here and talking about this. So we have these like little tiny hairs inside of our ears, and there's crystals sit on them. And when it's benign vertigo, because there's vertigo that you can have from different things, but just this benign kind, which is fortunately what I had, the crystals get knocked off, or a crystal or multiple crystals get knocked off, and it causes this case of vertigo. So mine were in the middle canal where it happened. So we have 3 canals in our ear, and mine were in the middle canal. And apparently when it's in the middle canal, it's extra tricky and the symptoms are extra intense. So you know how I roll. I like to go all in. And I had to go big for my vertigo. So I was out of commission for 2 weeks. I couldn't drive. I saw a vestibular PT and an osteopath, and they did this Epley maneuver. And of course I had the good fortune of being connected with Natasha Wilsh, who is a vestibular expert, especially in the arena of concussion. And she actually walked me through an additional treatment that I could do on my own that I think really, really helped a lot to start to speed up my recovery. But I'm back. I am no longer dizzy, thank goodness. And since we're talking about this, it's the perfect time to start talking about our nervous system, because it's all interconnected. So what I want to talk about today is nervous system regulation, and talk a little bit about what that means, give you a little bit of an education on our nervous system. So we've kind of been talking about it already with HRV and HRV training, and because it's a way to help actually regulate the nervous system. But I'm going to dive a little bit deeper in the context of just like what this means and why you as a high performer should care, because everyone needs a regulated nervous system. Our nervous system at its core is our ability to move flexibly through different states of arousal in response to stress. Yes. So this means that when we encounter a change in our environment, like a stressful situation, and every single human being encounters these, right? Whether it's someone cutting you off in traffic, an angry boss, a tense conversation with your partner. I mean, you can experience a stressful situation just completely alone. So we can adapt to what we are experiencing so that we're not overwhelmed if we, of course, have a regulated nervous system. It also means we completely recover after the stressor has been removed. So the ability to be flexible and adapt to the circumstances gives us a sense of agency. It makes us feel confident safe, and secure because we can understand and navigate the world in the way that we choose. So when our nervous system is being regulated, being in our bodies fosters a sense of safety. And so on the flip side of that, we could say that a nervous system that's dysregulated, in essence, in a state of overwhelm, translates into a sense of powerlessness. We feel like we have no control over how we respond to triggers. We remain stuck in that response. And even after the trigger is removed. Okay, are we starting to connect some dots here? Like noticing situations where perhaps you might have had a dysregulated system. Like, that moment that something happens and we like fly off of the handle. It seems very inappropriate, or our response to the stress seems really, really intense, or like more than it should have been. That's the indicator that we are in the midst of a dysregulated nervous system. Trauma, burnout, illness, and chronic pain all stem from a overwhelmed nervous system. Our nervous system is the foundation of our lived experience. It connects our body and our mind, regulating our emotions, our mental state, our immune system, and every other system in your body. Here's the thing though, there's more than that. The nervous system also connects us to the environment around us, allowing us to relate to other beings and also enabling our spirituality. So I like to think of this kind of like the bridge. It's the bridge between our whole being and the external world. This interconnectedness means that when suffering arises, for example, anxiety, illness, emotional pain, somatic type illnesses, burnout, trauma, we need to address all parts of our humanness if we want long-lasting healing. So how do we do this? There are 4 pillars to the nervous system. We have the mind, the body, spirituality, and then connection. So I'm going to explain what those 4 pillars really mean and how they translate. I have a question for you. Have you joined the Super Expander free mentorship community? If not, what are you waiting for? Stop what you're doing right now and text the word mentor to 202-918-3235. Text the word mentor to 202-918-3235. I send out weekly tips and inspiration to help you grow your business, to step into your wealthiest, most highest self, to harness your full potential and live an exceptional and extraordinary life. And the best part is, it's really me sending those messages. So text me, say hello, and send me your questions. So a regulated nervous system built in these 4 pillars. Let's dive into the body piece first. The body, all the biological components that influence the regulation of our health, from our genetics to cellular level, organs, and all the systems. So that's a pillar. And then we have our mind, our emotions, our coping strategies, our internal working models of how we view and perceive and see ourselves. Connection. That is how we relate to other human beings in the context of close relationships with our community, and then at the on a societal level at large. And lastly, spirituality. And this is our need to be a part of something bigger than ourselves, a connection to a deeper purpose. So knowing what your purpose is, living in your purpose, and then actually having some kind of connection to a higher being, something outside of ourselves. So whether that is source, God, whatever you believe in, fostering that. And when our nervous system is dysregulated, we need to attend to all 4 of these pillars to come back into a truly harmonious, regulated system. So I would say that this is oftentimes why we get so frustrated or feel blocked on a healing journey, is because only one piece of these is being attended to. So when symptoms and suffering are approached with a fixing mentality, we desperately try to just erase the symptoms rather than looking at the deeper levels of healing that might be required. When we begin to look at all four pillars in this context, we're actually able to start to see symptoms as a message of something deeper. And then we can begin to work on these different components of the human experience to achieve a true, long-lasting healing. Modern medicine is slow to change, but the paradigm is finally shifting and beginning to address the whole person, not just the symptoms and the condition. So when we're looking at so many different things, the big piece is coming back to this nervous system regulation. So many things could be resolved by bringing the nervous system back into this balanced, coherent state. So there is absolutely no question that genetics play a role in this. Some people have a more sensitive nervous system than others, which might mean that regulating your nervous system requires a little bit more attention. But environmental factors seem to play the biggest role in determining our ability to regulate our nervous system. And a lot of factors that come into play here are its societal backgrounds, relationships, personal history. A regulated nervous system is very much like needing to go to the gym. It's something that it's a practice, a daily practice of things that we can do and implement. It is not just a one and done. You regulate it and it's just in balance and you don't have to worry about it anymore. So now you know a lot of the external factors that cause a nervous system to be dysregulated. Let's talk about how you can begin to start regulating your nervous system. And if you have listened to any of the previous podcasts, we are talking about HRV training, which is a way to actually tighten the barrel around that stress response and become basically like a race car driver in the face of stress, being able to hit that gas pedal when it's needed and then hit the brakes when it's time to relax and calm down. Because here's the thing, stress, we can't eliminate stress, nor would we want to. Stress, there is something called eustress, which is good stress, and we need that in our life. Now, because it's a lifelong journey, it's practice, but you can do some certain things to start seeing results sooner rather than later. And it really relies on having a specific strategy, and it follows a specific sequence, and it starts with awareness. And awareness means that it's just becoming attuned to the sensations in our body and our emotions. So mindfulness, right? Just paying attention, not necessarily trying to change or shift them, but just bringing recognition and awareness forward. From awareness, we move into the regulation piece. And what I mean by this is it means learning how to respond to stress in a healthy way. And this could be through a multitude of different ways, whether that is through therapy or breath work or just breathing patterns, finding strategies that help you respond to stress in a healthy way. And I have to tell you that HRV resonance program is hands down a game changer for this. After we learn how to begin to regulate, then we can actually start to reverse the damage that might have been done through some negative type impacts, whether that was trauma or chronic stress. And as we begin to heal and reverse the damage, now we can begin to expand our capacity, our ability to cope with stress. And once we start to do that, connection starts to expand. This means that relationships begin to deepen. We can start to seek more support, and we see that connection with the world around us. So as you can see, nervous system regulation could just totally save the world. If this is something that you want to learn more about or have a deeper conversation about, reach out. I have a multitude of programs that I am walking people through, both on a one-to-one basis and in a group context. And I'm here to support you, to answer any questions you have. With a regulated nervous system, not only will your joy, your happiness, your fulfillment in the world begin to expand. I say this over and over again. Nervous system regulation is truly a business strategy. The more that I have become adept in the regulation of my own nervous system, my business has expanded and grown, and I have been a personal witness to each and every one of my clients and watch their business and income expand in relation to their ability to handle and manage stress and be able to do so with that, regulated nervous system. I will catch you on the next episode. If you like what you heard, stop, drop, and leave a 5-star review and hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And as always, sharing is caring, so snap a pic and share this episode with another super expander.